Welcome to the Survivor to Thriver show with your happiness expert, Samia Bano. Do you feel stuck, silent, and stressed? Is something hurting your heart and soul? Are you burning yourself out? If so, you are in the right place because this is the podcast people from all over the world join in to learn exactly how to stop suffering and start living with inner peace and joy. Let's get started. We have been talking about our life meaning and purpose for the last so many episodes, and we are going to continue to talk about our life meaning and purpose today and maybe the next few episodes. It depends on how much longer it takes me to get through everything that I really want to talk to you about when it comes to the issue of living our life meaning and purpose, finding our life meaning and purpose. Because it's such an important concept, such an important issue for us to address in our lives. As I was thinking about this whole idea, I was reminded of the concept of apoptosis. I had not actually ever heard about apoptosis. It was only a couple of years ago when I first started attending various events and started learning from Marsha Wieder, who is the CEO and founder of Dream University. Marsha talks a lot about this phenomenon of apoptosis. Apoptosis is a process through which cells self-destruct. They literally collapse in on themselves and then they become engulfed by the surrounding cells. So it's like they cease to exist. And this happens to a cell when that cell has outlived its function, its usefulness. Now, biologists have known about this phenomenon for quite some time. And for the most part, they see it as a very normal process of growth and development. And it's actually even a very necessary part of the process of our healthy growth and development. But one of the things that we have come to understand about apoptosis and this process of cellular self-destruction is that a lot of the diseases that we experience occur because a cell that was supposed to die didn't die. Or a cell that died wasn't supposed to die, wasn't supposed to self-destruct. So when apoptosis happens, when it wasn't supposed to happen, like when something was actually useful and it self-destructs, there is a problem. Or when something is no longer useful, it's become useless, but it continues to exist, it causes a problem. Either way, you end up with disorder, you end up with disease. So, when something has outlived its usefulness, when it has finished serving its purpose, its function, it needs to die. It needs to cease to exist so that the whole that it is a part of can continue to function in a healthy way. This is how the biologists talk about it. But guess what? This idea also has implications for us at a higher level of organization, of life, at a higher level of existence. See, it's like, what are we as human beings? Any one of us, like my body, all it is a collection of cells. So the laws that govern the existence of my cells, the laws that govern the health of my cells, the healthy functioning of my cells, are all laws that govern my life as well, and the functioning of my life as well. Our minds as we experience them, meaning like our thoughts, our emotions, that we are so consciously aware of, the consciousness itself, that that is our everyday normal experience, that is made up of our thoughts and our perceptions, and these are all results of the electrochemical activity that is going on within our cells. Even the cells of our brains are subject to this process of apoptosis, right? So here's the thing, that they've now started to discover also, that not only is this a process that just happens at a physiological level, but it is a process that can be triggered in our bodies depending on our psychological state of mind. And it's a state of physiology that can also impact our psychology, and our psychology can impact our physiology, right? I mean, if there's this mind-body connection thing going on, we know the mind-body connection exists, right? So guess what? Turns out that it also exists with regards to this phenomenon of apoptosis. So if you are living a life, like at the level of your psychology, you're living a life where you begin to think about yourself, believe about yourself that you have outlived your usefulness, that you have no life meaning or purpose. It's going to trigger apoptosis, a response of apoptosis in your physiology, in your body. You're going to begin to self-destruct yourself. They found this to happen in different people. It can happen, by the way, at any age. But it's most common among people who have just retired, empty nesters, people who are living in old age homes. They're finding that these people, have a tendency, have often struggled with this challenge of being connected to a sense of life meaning and purpose, and living with a sense of life meaning and purpose. And because insofar as they are unable to overcome this challenge or address this challenge effectively, they really begin to believe that, hey, my life has no meaning and purpose. And they begin to live as if their life has no meaning and purpose anymore. They trigger this apoptosis response within themselves, and it starts to generate all kinds of disease within their bodies. It's like they begin to collapse in on themselves and they die. So it like literally it becomes a cause of, it's like you're shortening your life. You can be like killing yourself if you are living in this state of mind and believing that your life has no more meaning and purpose. This is how critical, this is how crucial it is that you connect to your life meaning and purpose if you want to continue to live, and not just live, but live healthy and live happy. Live with inner peace and live with joy. So what is your life meaning and purpose? What is your life meaning and purpose? Everything that exists has a meaning and purpose. It exists because there is a meaning and purpose to its existence. Anything that does not have a meaning and purpose, or that ceases to serve its function, that serves to live, that fails to live in alignment with that meaning and purpose, just ceases to exist. Okay? So, now, the thing is that we all have a meaning and purpose, but we have it at two levels. We have it at the level of we're all humans, right? So as humans, we form a very, we're humans as opposed to trees, or as opposed to mountains, as opposed to a bird, or as opposed to, any other thing that exists. Humans are a distinct category of things, of beings, creatures that are in existence. And the reason that we are existing as this unique category of things or creatures that exist is because we have a unique purpose and a unique meaning as human beings. So there is a purpose, like a universal purpose that we all share as human beings. And then, as an individual human being, I also have a purpose. So I have a universal purpose, but I also have a specific purpose. I have a purpose as like a human being, generally, but I also have a purpose specifically as Samya Banu. Again, if you use the analogy of our bodies, you see, our bodies form a whole, but the whole is made up of parts. It's made up of millions and billions of little cells coming together in a specific pattern that forms us, right? So all the cells of our body that form us, they have a general purpose. That is, okay, all the cells of my body have a general purpose of creating me, of allowing me to live, of allowing me to exist, and allowing me to function. But each and every cell within my body also has a specific purpose. It's like the cells in my brain have a different specific purpose than the cells in my fingers, that have a different specific purpose than the cells in my heart, which have a different specific purpose than the cells in my liver or my kidneys or any other part of my body. See? So it's like I, as a human being, have a general purpose, but I also have a specific purpose. Now, what I cannot help you do is Like, I cannot tell you what your specific purpose is. That is something that you must discover for yourself. Your heart already knows what your specific purpose is. Your soul knows what your specific purpose is. And only you can look within your heart and your soul and discover that for you. But where I can help you is by sharing with you what our universal purpose is. So even if you don't know your specific purpose right now, listen to and become aware of what your universal purpose is. And until you are able to align yourself with your specific purpose, at least do everything that you can to align yourself with your general universal purpose. If you do this, the good news is that you will actually already put yourself on the right track to living a life that is in alignment with your specific meaning and purpose, because your specific meaning and purpose will never be something that contradicts your general purpose. It's always something that supports the general purpose, that complements the general purpose. Now I'm looking at the time, and I think what I'm going to do is wrap up for today right here. And in our next episode, I will share with you what the actual specific, or rather the actual universal purpose is that we all share as human beings. Okay, so stay tuned. And until we connect next time, I just want to remind you that, hey, if you are finding this podcast to be useful, if you're finding it to be helpful for you in any way, please share it with your friends and family. Please let them know about it. And also, go on iTunes and leave the Survivor to Thriver show a 5-star rating. The ratings that you give help other people to find it more easily. So please do that. And until we connect next time, I wish you lots of peace and joy.